Hello students, this is Dr. Yamuna Lakshmi, Professor of English, Department of English. This is for Soft Skill 1, Unit 3, Module 7, then and now. So, in the last two units, we have seen present simple. So, in this unit, they are focusing on past simple. You can see the title of the lesson, then and now. Now is present, then is past. So, the main focus of this lesson is past simple. Let us see the first regular verbs, irregular verbs, and then we move on to the lesson. So, when you see the first part, when I was young, I was. Was denotes past simple. And then they are focused first on regular verbs. The first one is read and listen to Matty Smith's like now. Complete text A with the verbs you hear. So you can see the listening part I have shared in Google Classroom. The material you can see there. You can listen to that and fill this passage A because passage A talks about Matty's life now, that is present. So we have seen present in the previous units. So I just move on to the part B, that is passage B talks about past tense. Okay, so passage A talks about Matty Smith life now. Matty Smith age is 91 years. Okay, so passage B talks about her past, her childhood, right? Uh, Let us see Matty Smith past. Matty was never at school. She lived with her mother and four sisters. She started work when she was 8. She worked in the cotton fields from 6 in the morning to 10 at night. She couldn't read or write, but she could think and she created poems in her head. So when you see this passage, the verbs, all the verbs denote past form. Matty was past tense, lived past tense, started past tense. Again here was, worked past tense. She couldn't past tense negative, could past tense, created past tense. Okay, so let us see the grammar's part. Complete the sentences with the live in the correct form. When now she lives alone. But when she was a child, she lived with her mother and sister. So the main focus of this part is live, verb is live. So when you use the verb for now, that is present, you use she lives alone. If it is past form, you write she lived with her mother and sisters. Okay. What is the past form of these verbs? Listen and practice saying them. So, listening part, you can listen the audio clips which I have shared in Google Classroom. Now, look at these verbs. Look, work, love, learn, earn, marry, die, hate, want. All these are verbs and you are going to change these verbs into past tense. So I told you in the beginning itself, a regular verb, irregular verb. What is regular verb and what is irregular verb? Regular verb, when you change a regular verb into a past form, uh, right? What you are going to do, you just add ed or ied or d. It depends upon the spelling of the verb. Okay. When you see the first one, look, when you change this look into past tense, you have to add ed, looked. So work, ed, worked. Love, just d because it ends with e. So you just add d, loved. Learn, learned, ed. Earn, earned, ed. Marry, you have to add ied. Remove y and add ied because it ends with y. So these are some spelling rules you should understand to change these verbs into past form. Die, it ends with E, so you just add E. Hey, same thing, you just add D. And want, you have to add ed. Okay, so look, looked, work, worked, love, loved, learn, learned, earn, earned, marry, married, die, died, hate, hated, want, wanted. Okay, these are the verbs, past form of these verbs. Now, the exercise 4 is read and listen to Matty talking about her past life. Complete the text using the past simple form of the verbs in exercise 3. Okay, what you have to do is you have to use the past forms of these verbs. So you are going to use looked, worked, loved, learned, earned, married, died, hated, wanted. Using those verbs, you have to complete the passage. Can you try? I dash from 6 in the morning until 10 at night. 16 hours in the cotton fields and I only dash a day. I sure that job, but I dash the poems in my head. I really to learn to read and write. When I was 16, I, Hubert, and soon there were 6 children, 5 sons, then a daughter, Lily. Hubert dashed just before she was born. That was 65 years ago. So I dashed after my family alone. There was no time for learning, but my children, they all dashed to read and write. It was important to me. And when did I learn to read and write? I didn't learn until I was 86. And now I have 3 books of poems. Okay, so what you have to do? You have to complete the blanks using the verbs in the exercise 3, which you have changed present to past, the regular verbs. Okay, so let us see the answers of these blanks, that is the full paragraph. Matthew Smith is, just to say, okay, here is the answer. I worked from 6 in the morning until 10 at night. So the first one is I worked from 6 in the morning until 10 at night. 16 hours in the cotton fields, I only earned $2 a day. You can see here, earned $2 a day. I sure hated the job, but I love the poems in my head. I really wanted to learn and write. When I was 16, I married Hubert, and soon there were 6 children, 5 sons, then a daughter, Lily. Hubert died just before she was born. It was 65 years ago. So I looked after my family alone. There was no time for learning, but my children, they all learned to write and read and write. That was important to me. And when did I learn to read and write? I didn't learn until I was 86. And now I have 3 books of poems. Okay, 3 books of poems. So you should fill up these blanks using these verbs. I have just read answer. So listen to that and then try to complete the whole passage and complete the questions about Matty. What you have to do? You have to read the answers here. When she was 8 years old. What could be the question? When did she start work? In the cotton fields. So, where did she work? Her mother and sisters. So, who did she live with? So, complete these things. Use this paragraph for your reference. Okay. And here, when you look at these questions, where does she live now? When it is now, look at the verb does. Okay, present tense. And then 1950, past. Where did she live in 1950? So did is the past of do and does. So we use did to form a question in the past simple. We use didn't, which means did not, to form the negative. She didn't learn to read until she was 86. So negative, we use, didn't. This is about you. You have to talk about yourself. Complete the sentences with did, was, or where. So you have to complete these blanks using these three, right? You have to complete the whole 7 questions. Okay. Up to this, they are focusing only on the regular verbs. So now let us move on to irregular verbs in the next video.